can do it. They need funds, they need ideas, they need collaboration. And that's why, we spotted them out of the number of people who are approaching that, for them to make quite a number of other people, but I think they have some solutions that had left the ideation stage into prototyping and is about to start. I was just asking Doctor now which of the agencies under the ministry is into this kind of research. So they even need government support apart from individuals, so that's my comments on this.
Do you have any? Look. I don't believe just the rate of failure, especially a proper feasibility, is very high. A lot of people start business. Oh, they have passion, they have energy, they have little money, and they don't write anything. They just start, and after about 1 or 2 years, the thing fails. So that is the essence of asking whether there's some form of at least a plan, business plan, even if it's not feasibility. A plan. This is what I have. I need to have 2 or 3 of these within this period. It will cost me this and this. This is what I'm expecting within this. But that's a very simple thing to do. Doesn't require too much money.
Yes.
So for any investor, that's the question any investor would ask.
Him, out of the box. For many years I used to do visibility report, exception report for people, and of course, as a consultant, you want to make it bulky so that your client feels that you are doing so much. I'm a visibility study, but coming to the point where we are now, I tell you, any visibility study that is more than 1 page is a 1 page or 2 pages is a storybook. So it's a summary of your idea, not something. And the question I always tell people that the best person to do the visibility study of business plan for a business is a business owner. So it's not something esoteric that you have to do a textbook, but a 1 or 2 page summary of the idea. So you do have something like that.
We have a business plan, and we have our projection where we want to get to. Where
that's what we were just asking, whether you have it. The 3 people here, let me see your hands up. Who was the 3rd person? So we'll take the questions at the same time, please.
I'm Abdulhamid Abubakar, a 400 level student of University of Abuja. I have a question, then I actually have an addition plus observation. 1, if you are talking about tricycle, it's actually meant for students. Honestly, there's no any campus in university, education, or polytechnic that they won't make use of the tricycle. They will know how much they were earning. For now, from gate down to your faculty is 100 naira. Now, 1, what is the sustainability of this thing? Number 2, is it only in the campus that you mentioned? There is a particular school that you mentioned now. So, is it only in that school? Please note down the questions. Now, The observation I have, and let me say addition, is that please, we are students. And I must tell you categorically today, Nigeria did not welcome certificate. I don't bend to say it. They need what you have in your brain. Now, what you now have in your brain, if you have access to execute it, is there support for it? Please, this house, this guy has already bring a real initiative. I have someone that have 2-3 motor, this tricycle, then he has students in Kwaso. They know how much they are making. Please, how are you going to be of help to this man? He bring a good idea and good initiative, which will serve as benefit for students. Thank you.
My name is Ademuya, a student of Ibrahim Badamasi Babangida University, 400 level. Okay, for your this an idea and what you bring, it is a good idea, and I support it. But the problem is that how can we have the Kekena PEPs that will be in other campuses so that students will be aware of this initiative, and how can let me say sorry to ask. The one question that I want to ask is that, are you going to collaborate with the local Kekena PEP at the campuses, or you are going to bring your own Kekena PEP to the campuses?
The second question is a good one. Are you going to collaborate with existing Kekena PEP drivers, or you are creating your own? Okay?
I would like
Maybe
to
start from there.
Second question. You talked about collaboration with the Keke drivers on campus. Now, our platform gives a Keke driver, if you own a Keke on campus, you can collaborate with us. And we have a kind of payment system where if you don't order from our app, you can still make payment by scanning the tricycle QR code. So we plan to collaborate with Kekena PEP drivers on campus also. We are not only going to bring our tricycle. So the first question, when he asked whether I'm only starting with, whether it's only going to work in Bells University, we plan to start with Bells University, and maybe by the end of the year or after 1 year, we plan to expand to other universities. We want to be able to study our market in Bells University before we expand to other universities.
Exactly. Well done.
So when you talked about the sustainability of the platform, we plan to integrate electric tricycles. Now, electric tricycles is more cheaper based on, it's expensive, but in terms of longevity is more cheaper because you have to just deal with electricity charging of the tricycles. So that's why we are incorporating electric tricycle to give a kind of fixed price and give a kind of stability to the system. Yes.
Beautiful.
A keke right now can carry about, in a day, it can carry about 130 passengers.
Per time?
No.
Two?
In a day.
No, per time. How many will the keke carry per time?
Three,
Okay.
four. 30 passengers in a day from the data we gathered from Bells University of Technology.
Are you done?
That does.
All right. Thank you very much. As we were talking, I remembered. Oh, you have a question for him. Okay, so let's hold this. Okay, but use the mic.
You know, I think the workshop is about to be accused of mixed messaging, because yesterday we were told that education was important. We needed to all get educated. But now I've just heard a young man over there say that Nigeria does not recognize certificate. that is mixed messaging. So the point is this. I'm quite shocked that this idea has carried on for so long that people in the field are actually starting to believe it. It's not there's no university right now, or very few, that don't have a department that does entrepreneurial education. Yeah, so if what you read will not give you what you want, go and convert it to a skill in such a department. Add value to what you have. Okay? Thank you.
All right. Okay. The microphone. Where education is important for creativity, my dear. So anybody that says no, it still adds up to develop your critical thinking skills and all of that. You can't separate them from each other. Hello. Ha, this matter has caused problem. Okay, come and carry your people. Oh my God. But this is interesting. I like it. I kind of like it. My question would even be: are there the regular Bolt drivers on campus? They don't allow Bolt on campus. I don't know, because we need to also. Who are your competitors? Are they all still there? The Ubers, the Bolts, right? Nigeria, they're out there now too. So we need to also see. Well, there's still a whole lot of conversation around this. It can't be done in 10 minutes. Some of us may be in a room like, yeah. Oh yeah, ma, we'll be asking. Okay, so we're going to the final session of the day. I want to particularly even talk about this SUB man at the back, SUG, Student Union of Government. You notice what I was talking? Activist, you're an activist. Then I saw his face cap, I saw SUG, Okbari. Now then the old vice chancellor for. Oh my God. Luta continua, Victoria Sata, Okbari. Oh my God. We need to encourage our students doing great things even while in school, actually. We really must encourage them. I think what the Aluta guy was saying, now he said everything, who is going to support? Hey, Aluta, one day, who is going to support him? Somehow, something will happen, I believe so. I'm sure we'll still have some conversations. I'm even going to have a conversation, especially about him, anyway. And while I was sitting there as well, I remembered our Minister of Women Affairs saying that her project, she's buying keke napep for the women. And then was on Arise News, like, Madam, keke napep for women. Are there women that ride? But really, that was quite interesting to me. And now I'm seeing this idea, I'm like, maybe women can do keke, napep. We can convert this to monapep, something for school, but there are ideas everywhere. Because for some of us, the keke napep alone is for carrying people here and there. But I'm seeing a totally different idea. Napep here. And I'm thinking, okay, maybe I need to start thinking differently also. What napep can do even in schools. And I think that we need to take this further than this, truly. We could do wonders with this project. That's what I think.
Try not to let the cat out of the bag. As at yesterday, Swani, the Keke Napep people were here, and he had sent me a text message this morning that they had already agreed on a collaboration. They are already bringing electric tricycle to Nigeria. He has a solution, and that was just a perfect match. But of course, the guy needs more collaboration than this. Even Prof here is already saying this works in the university and all of that. But I see, even personally, I see this as a viable solution for all universities or most universities in Nigeria, if you are not generalizing, and of course, as I yesterday, he has got someone who say, okay, we are bringing in electric cycle, we use your app, so he's even going beyond campus, but beyond that, based on his business model, which Mr. Adoke has, of course, it can be in his business model that people can lease Keke Napep to him, and all of that, so that's why the idea of the collective group like this can enrich what he has beyond what I think one person thinks, and that's why we still let him make a presentation where he can actually harness more potential. But he already has one sign up as of yesterday.
I think with the solution he has, which is the software that he has developed, he can integrate it into the meal ticket of the school. So in that case, the thing can generate not only for transport, it's just a ticket, it's just the card. The card can be used for meal tickets. So you can make more money from both the meal ticket and the ride. So those two can work together.
I cannot pep. This guy, where you there? You are renaming the project. What do you want to call it? Both for Keke na pep.
You can integrate your card, not only for the transport, but also for meal tickets in campus. In other words, people can pay into the card, and then they can use for meal tickets to buy food and all that. You make a commission out of it. It's not just Keke na pep.
Two for the price of one. Matter finish. Yep. So well done. We all agree that that's a brilliant idea. If there is one thing we all agree is that is excellent, and it has a lot of potential, even perhaps beyond what you have even seen. We're already thinking ahead of you. Can you imagine? Oh God! Please, let's celebrate this man again. Thank you very much. So we're riding now to the last session of the day. We won't be having the workshop 4, but we'll be having the workshop 3 right now. And that will be moderated by Mac Anderson Associates Limited. Sorry, where is Akin Dayami? Aki. Hello, Mac Anderson. Right. So we're now entering your session. So let's put our hands together for Mr. Akin Akin Dolani. Thank you.
Too brave, Akin. Thank you. Of course. Hi everyone, good morning. Good afternoon, sorry. Yeah, I'm Akin Dolani, and I just want to start off from where we stopped. And I quite appreciate what the young man said about skills. Honestly, the first time when I finished my university and I met one of the bank MDCU, I was looking for a job, and I said, sir, I finished from Alabama University, I studied computer mathematics, and I was trying to tell him everything I've done, say I could, the first thing he asked me, what can you do? So, all over, I've had people say, what can you do? We know you study big data analytics, we know you study computer math, we know you study whatever you study, but what can you do? And that's one thing people are asking, the experiences. How can your experience link how can you link your experience to what we are employing you for? So it's not about what you study sometimes, it's all about what you can do, what you can deliver in the company. So why should I employ you? So I think I quite agree but of course, education is very important. So education does not really mean university education only, And I've had boys that have trained in the last 5 years, 7 years, that the guy just from O level, he's been a developer, and now he's going to become big stores. The co-founder of Alt School, if you guys check him, the guy, I'm not sure the guy went to a former university. I think he went, said he dropped out and things like that. And the guy has reached over $1 million. So to me, it's all about what you can do with the skills you have and how best you can amplify your voice in the market out there. And that brings me down to mechanics of technology. Why do we even do mechanics of technology? And what have you done in the last couple of years? In the last couple of years, we started mechanics of technology to give skills to people because of this kind of issues. And I remember that I finished from the university and I was frustrated. Some of my friends call me whiskey because I could do little things, networking, computer graphics. I could do all of those basic things except for programming. And I did programming course there back then called Dreamweaver Code Fusion, for those that understand programming back then. I did all of 3-5 years working for my former boss. I had to say I'm bored of this kind of work. And I told him, said, sir, I want to resign. I want to do something else. And he said, what do you want to do? I said, I don't even know, but I'm bored of this kind of work I'm doing. And I started what I did with my friends. And the first project we did was UNESCO Youth Mobile. And I remember I had to tell the other guy, say, hey, UNESCO Youth Mobile, I can teach people how to code. I can teach people, of course, I've learned how to code after university. And I started all of those things. And that metamorphosed to what we do right now. But because we know that a lot of young guys can't afford the training, so we've built a very good platform, our reputation with international partners. And of course, I can say that in the last couple of years, our major clients, or let me say all our clients, are international partners. We work with UNESCO, Microsoft, Oracle, Cisco, and we've worked with all of these guys to train thousands of people in the last couple of years. In 2020, yeah, during the COVID year, we had a partnership with African Development Bank, which we started coding for employment, and which is what we're going to be talking much about. I've got a lot of people from our set that is here today. We started something called coding for employment with African Development Bank to train young people in tech skills. At that time, we partnered with Pluralsight, who has a course content, and we did all of this remotely. And COVID taught all of us that you could actually do things in Lagos and get job in the US. And some of our graduates actually got jobs in US company. I remember I was in the UK and I was telling a friend that was in Manchester. And I said, we trained this person. Look at what he said. Oh, this girl came in. I know her and I will try to employ her, but she said she's too busy, that she's got a lot of gigs, that she can't even work on their project. And I was proud. I was like, oh, good. That means you guys are doing something well. So, and these are the kind of stuff we try to see to probably impact into young people, not just the certificate thing that you carry about, what you can deliver and how best we can be proud of you, or your community can be proud of you. But 2 years ago, AFDB said, enough of mechanizing training. How can we train people and scale it up further? How can we ensure that, how can we democratize this whole opportunity? And we came up with Digital Ambassador Program, whereby we train some set of young people. Those guys go back to their community to train other young people, you know, in the market, just like cascading the whole thing. Like, I'll call them a guardian of the glass or something. Whereby those guys will go back and impact the community. And we've got digital ambassadors in 4 countries right now. Right now we have a project in Nigeria, of course Nigeria, Kenya, Senegal, and Ivory Coast, whereby guys are being trained remotely and they are delivering the training with the best of their ability, either remote or physical. Some are even done amazingly well. I don't know if our videos can be done, because that's some like impact story that we want to talk about, so that we can see the amazing thing young people are doing and what AFDB and Microsoft are doing across Africa. And because I feel like the skill is very important, honestly, because it's not about, fine, go to school, acquire skills, acquire certificate and acquire skill, but acquire the right skills that will link you to job opportunities. In the UK, of course, I'm based in the UK now. In the UK, a lot of guys say, oh, we want to employ this. Can you have somebody, can you help me to do this? A lot of guys, they stop, hey, come and help us to do a website, come and help us to do this. And I said, I don't develop website anymore. It's been like, I don't develop website. And we've trained a lot of people, and we started something called £10 website in the UK. What this £10 website is to ensure that our trained young developers can be linked to a freelancer or probably a company owner in the UK or wherever they are, to ensure that they develop a website, and you can still do that at the comfort of your house in Nigeria or wherever you are. And it's not an opportunity we're trying to give to other people so that they can benefit and work remotely. Not everybody needs to jackpot, but some of us need to. Well, some of us need to go and create opportunities and say, let's bring down the opportunities. No, I'm serious. Some of us need to go ahead and bring opportunities down to Nigeria and say, hi, there's a lot of opportunities right here. How can we tap into it? And some of us are just bridge builder, honestly, sir. Trust me, sir. I wish I'm in Nigeria right now. I wish I'm in Nigeria right now. But if I come, a lot of bridges will be burnt. So, honestly, some of us need to build the bridges and ensure that we connect our Africans, our diaspora to the world, instead of Indians that are doing all of these things, because a lot of Indians are in the tech space right now, even on Upwork, freelance and things like that. And that's one of the things we're trying to do to ensure that our Nigerians, our Africans are getting those opportunities right from what. And if you have an opportunity to probably go there, you won't just go there and be doing some kind of jobs that you won't like, honestly. But once you have the right skills, you can blend in and do the right opportunities. I'm not going to talk too much because we're going to have like a panel session, kind of maybe a few minutes panel session, and we've got a very good speaker that's going to talk to us about opportunities about remote working, freelancing, and how you can maximize and tap into that opportunity. I think I'd rather stop here and give it to Mrs. Ujo to help us carry on that. Thank you so much, ma'am.
So I'm your last speaker. Can you imagine? You're stuck with me today. Whew. So can I have the slide up? I'm talking about freelancing and remote work. So while our slides are coming up, how many of you are freelancers? Like, you offer freelance services? Okay. How many of you have done remote work Like you're in your sitting room, but you're working for one company that just paying you dollars and pounds and euros, and it's so sweet when you see the alerts. How many of us are in that space? We're still very few. But Mama, yeah, I see you raising your hands. So when you see those alerts, how do you feel? What's the feeling? Can you imagine? Imagine, they just say, okay, this 2 days work is just £1,000. You're like, I jump me chick, baby. £1,000 is, please, in this country, 1 point something, 2 days, baby. You are sitting there, you are sipping your coffee on your dining table. You are even playing some nice music. Sometimes you are even watching your favorite show. You are still doing the work. You are just doing something regular in just your space. And somebody is paying you so much for it. Really, we need to understand freelancing a bit more so that we also know how to maximize the opportunities. There's a lot going on there. Freelancing and remote work. One thing is, post-COVID, we all knew that, man, we can do our work anywhere in the world. Before, we were still battling with that idea. But COVID reset everybody completely. I realized that some companies did not shut down. Some even made more profit during that COVID. Yes, I was on a project, a defeat project, and we had a full year, like we're just entering the final year. We did not open the office for 1 day, and a full year, we did our work. We did like 3 times the work we've done in the last 4 years. In that 1 year, remote working. It was something else. And we still got our payments anyway, so we're in our houses. And I know those times too, when they said, we had a lot of team meetings, of course. And sometimes you're not even wearing clothes. The program manager, everybody gather, everybody will just put one top and sit down there. Except they'll tell you to stand up and let us see your full regalia, then it becomes a problem. But we're all doing this. Some were in bed, just working. It's really beautiful, actually, remote work. Next slide. Next slide. I will try and run through this as quickly as I can. So the next slide, I saw this World Bank statistics that approximately 46.4% of the global workforce is self-employed. And that's explanatory because how many companies really would adopt everybody that's graduated every year? Let's look at Nigeria alone. Maybe UI graduates 2,500 students this year. And we have over 100 students. 100 universities, let's even say 100 universities. On an average, let's even say we graduate 1,000 students every year. Times 100, how many is that? 1,000 times 100? 100,000. I'm not sure we have the companies right now in Nigeria that absorb all of us in that singular year. And already they employ every year. So it's not about every year we are bringing 100,000 people into the workforce. So the more, and it's not only in Nigeria. And that's new jobs are now springing up. Okay. We are now thinking of the traditional way of doing things. Some years back, many years back, if you told your parents, what do you want to do? Dad, I want to be a freelancer. The man will just look at you first. NFA, no future ambition. What is freelancer? A friend of mine said he told our former president, Obasanjo, that he was an internet clinical and influencer. Baba said, what is that one? He was just wondering, what job is that? You're not a doctor, you're not a lawyer, you're influencer. What does that mean? And truly, the older generation would understand it. Even till today, if I tell my father I'm an influencer, he still will not get it. Because for them, go and work with government. And you're like, hey, government at my age, daddy, hey, sir. But you see, this is what it is. Things have changed. Internet has changed things. The way globalization has just brought the whole thing to bear. You can do some work with someone anywhere in the world. And it's just so perfect. Because now there's no physical divide, as it were. Now the internet has broken down most of the walls. I know there are some professions, of course, you need to be present because they are more of hands-on. But we also live in a knowledge economy right now. And knowledge is what people are paying for. And that's why someone can pay you so much for a 2 days assignment. And the instead is an 8-hour day. So don't kill yourself. You see that kind of thing. So let me talk about 3 friends of mine. The next slide. The first person is Dara. So keep pressing because it's animated. So Dara started freelancing post-COVID 2019. There was a day I told her, I said, I'm a lazy person. No, I don't like, you're a lazy person, yet you're making cool dollars and pounds inside your house. So she's been a housewife. She chose to be so. And she's been rendering services as a virtual assistant. She's also into operations management for small and medium enterprises. But she's been working from home since that year. Our clients are digital business owners, consultants, coaches, sales, marketing agencies. She even serves brick and mortar businesses in to logistics, video photography agencies, and on the list goes. She's relocated, of course, but wherever she is at any point in time, she continues to do her work because all she needs is her laptop and maybe her phone and her brain. So, and her fingers to type. In fact, even disability now, people with disability already have their gadgets made for them. So you don't have to even see to do anything. I have a French teacher that is taking me French. The guy is blind. Eh? And we talk every morning, and he has something that is always scrolling on my screen. And when I'm calling, he knows who is calling. I keep wondering, how do you do this? I don't get it. But somehow they've built gadgets around those things, so they themselves are now able to do the things you think they cannot do. And some of them are doing these things. A reason for freelancing, of course, our clients, US and UK, she said, especially the female black American business owners, she's found a place right there. So she was able to locate her clientele at least and do a lot more there. Reason for freelancing, he said, I love that I can carry my work anywhere and earn money depending on how much work I can get done. So it depends now, you control your economy, bah? If you want to take 50 jobs in one day, now you said, but don't kill yourself. You can temper yourself and say, okay, maybe I'll get one job a week. You know, it's now your own destiny. It's like your destiny is in your hands. Mm-hmm. And then I asked recommended platforms on that freelance platforms, Upwork, Fiverr, freelancer.com, LinkedIn, Facebook groups and communities. She's been able to leverage that in the course of her work. Then let me talk to you about another guy. So this is Princely, he's one of my mentees. And he has started freelancing. And when I asked, why did you start freelancing? He said, well, that's the only option to get value for my work. Because the things I do, they underprice me in this Nigeria. They imagine, you tell someone that you want to do website design. They'll be saying, all I have is 20,000. The boy is saying, yes, man. But when he started freelancing and putting his services on all of these sites, he got good value for his work and was able to earn in foreign currency. So when we're talking about exports, that's what we also call services export. And that's why a lot of people, many countries now, they're making more money from this, in fact. Because all you need is your brain. I keep saying your best asset is this brain. This brain. You can create products from there, services. It can go to any part of this world. And the services is rendering is software engineering, programming, web development, mobile application development, server management. His locations are all around the world. Reason for freelancing, he enjoys that. He's not constrained by four walls. Abi? Anywhere he is, he can work. He's in his car, he can do his work. He also recommended platforms like Upwork, People Per Hour, freelancer.com, Fiverr, TopTal, Guru.com. So these are very powerful websites. I'm talking about the last person. So this guy is my son, actually. Shala knows him, right? So his name is Temi. And he started freelancing as a teenager. Although then, when I got him the computer, a laptop, my husband said, hey, you are distracting this boy. I said, I'm not distracting him. Let's see, if he enjoys design, there's no point shutting that down. He might just lose interest completely. So, at the end of the day, by the time I started seeing people ordering designs and paying money, I said, continue to be designing. Continue, you are doing well. Even me, I told his dad, I said, you don't see. One day, somebody from Israel said, messaged him, oh, I love your kind of graphics. Because there's a particular kind of graphics he does. It's not the regular type. I don't even know the name he calls it. I saw from Israel paid. In fact, I said, I'll be your manager. And I became my son's manager. I have to do this. Yes. But you see, he does graphics design, illustration. He's gotten a client from Israel. He's gotten from US. And he got some of my friends from Nigeria also have patronized him and paid him. Interestingly, he's in the university, he just entered. His account was very good. So his money is spreading in his square. I said, save me some money, you this boy. You have worked. Let him also learn to spend his own money. But he was very excited. Because while he was going to school, I said, you've made this much money in your account. He also felt proud of it. And I love that. So more or less maybe teaching children also financial literacy, they see skills and all that. For him, he just wants to put his designs out there. And I know there are days he will just say, Mommy, I want to upload all my designs on Instagram. And that day is dedicated to Instagram. You just see that all his things are up there. Of course, he started by Instagram and then Dribble. And then I started seeing Dribble all the time. Which one is this Dribble? And I realized, oh, that's where he also uploads his design. So he's recommending IG because, of course, that's where it all started from. He discovered Dribble. Then on a day like that, I said, put your thing on Fiverr now. let people also see you more, dear. But you see, one of the things is, of course, the balance between school, because there are days he needs to do some competitions, and I'll say, you know what, you have to also study. Oh. So when you need to study, you can tell people in your community that I'll be off for 2 months. Because it's not for, I don't want you to fail as well. We have to do balance. But these 3 people I've just mentioned, they do freelancing. Now, some of us, we don't freelance as freelancing is our career, but we also build a career that people know what we can do, and they can contact us from anywhere because somebody will recommend you to somebody and say, oh, somebody recommended that you can do this. Please, can you help us do this? And they're contacting you from somewhere in the world you don't even know. All right? I've done a couple of things like that. British Standard Institute, this is my 2nd time of working with them. The first time, I was so happy. 5 days, they gave me some good pounds in 2021. Said, this is very sweet too. Should be looking for this kind of clients. And they want to have an event, maybe in January. So Titi, somebody recommended you. Can you help us get the halls? Can you help us get the photographer? Simple things are the normal thing. I can just drive to the place and they are paying me per day. I say, let me not do as if it's that simple. Let me not do as if it's that simple. You get us photographer, you help us get the backdrop. I said, oh, am I to design the backdrop? No, we'll send you to design. I said, you're even sending me the design. How nice. So my own is just print. Oh, now. Bring it. Then help us make sure you get the attendance sheet. Am I moderating the event? No. We have a consultant coming around. So my own is just to collect attendance sheets. 5 days work. In fact, I've been calculating the amount in the conversion for something I could just sit down and be doing at my own time. So remote work would be so sweet. And why are companies hiring freelancers? Okay, let's look at that. First, because freelance talent is widely available. Yes, so you can search and find. And these days, they can do a background check on you anyway to see. And that's why when we're talking about cybersecurity, digital, most of the things we spoke about yesterday, as much as you say you don't want to be online, well, it depends on where you're headed with your life. Because people will check you out online. It is what it is. If you say you design graphics, they will go and check you online, whether they see any of your works. It is as simple as that. Just my own privacy, please. Okay, well, you remain in the dark. And those in the light, we continue to make the money because they'll be visible. So, it depends on what you're putting online anyway, okay? You're not just putting, oh, today I'm eating rice and dodo. That's not what is important. Biko. But you know how to speak. You're a public speaker. You can put up some of your speaking engagements. Yes. So if you put on Fiverr that you're a public speaker, you can moderate events. They want to see some of the posts about the places you have spoken. It's as simple as that. If you say you're good with designs, then we want to see some of your designs. You should have probably an IG account or something where you upload your things and they can see it. So internet is good. It depends on what you want to use it for. And those kind of information, they're not private. It is what you use to sell yourself. Okay? So, and when they're looking for, they find you. Freelancing brings business access to younger people as well, because in this generation, digital generation, we have a lot of younger people in that space. And so we are reducing youth unemployment to a great extent, because then they can determine what they want and then get people that would patronize those services. Freelancers bring specialized skills and expertise. Then hiring freelancers is cost effective. If all I just need is design, I don't do it every day. I can't now put you in my office and be paying you salary for a whole month. It's when I need it. So sometimes we get freelancers on a needs basis. Even there are some projects. Projects don't last forever. Just get a freelancer, you know you can do this, you pay him within the period. When it's over, it's done. You can sign contracts with them. You're going to give us this number of days. Some will say you're giving us 70 days out of the whole year, which means maybe every month about 4 days a month or 5 days a month, thereabout. So it's cost effective. And these days people are moving from the regular brick and mortar to just online offices, truly. So recently, the British Standard Institute, the same British Standard Institute, they were around 3 weeks ago and we moved around a bit. And Ricardo was telling me that, Titi, you know what, I do 4 days work from home. Only 1 day is when I enter my office. And the building where they are, they've collapsed like 2 floors already and they are now apartments. So because really, we don't realize we don't really need so much space and offices to be paying for. And they're still doing their work. They're doing work in like 9 countries right now, including Ethiopia. But they're just in that one office that's out of 3 floors. And most of them are even working from home. So what are we saying? So you see people like that, they don't have staff in the office. So they will look for people that can do remote work for them, basically. And they also want to go where it's cheap. Labor is cheaper. Because of course, by the time they divide what you're asking in their pounds, it's so small. I was telling Shola earlier that there's a conference I want to do. I just gave the guy, 2 days, 1.4 million. I was expecting him to say, the guy just said, just did some conversion. It's okay, we can cover it. I said, okay. It's me that is thinking in Naira. God have mercy. Naira. Naira mentality. Why yourself? Because you can just point something back. It's okay. Just like that. Even the photographer and the printer, I said you should help them do the banner because they asked me. The lady said, "Can you send me their invoices so that she will know whether it's within range?" I felt it was even high. The lady, "Oh, that's great." I said, "Okay, guys, don't change the value. Leave it like that." The lady just said, "This is cheap." So you see, they also have cheaper services, okay? So everybody is trying to cut the cost of running business. And that becomes attractive to them, right? Then freelancers give business hiring flexibility, of course. It gives them that flexibility. So I'm almost done. So earlier when I was preparing for this, I looked at the top 10 best freelance jobs in 2023. And I saw this. We could add more to it, but web designer, web developer. Let's not forget that people in the creative space, it's easier for them to actually even do freelance. Because if it's designs, maybe it's just to design and send it to you by email. You go and print it and you use it. So we have a lot of people in that creative space doing freelancing anyway. But much more, we now have people in finance. People want those that can help them look at their books, help them, finance is a very serious issue in many companies. And if you are good, they'll find you. And then you can do this work remotely. Graphic designer, teacher. And teacher, they don't care whether you have NC or anything, as long as you can teach. That's it. And whatever you can teach, teach it well. Currently, I am doing something with a teenager, and they're in Saudi Arabia, actually. The mom just insisted I have to be the one mentoring her by all means. I said, mentoring a teenager. I'm used to mentoring business owners as well. So it's a small girl. But I've started for the last 3 months, and I'm enjoying it. And she's applying for school, so I'm also working her through school applications. She's going to the US. And the mother pays me every month. In fact, every week is the breakdown of the payment. And she's someone I know before anyway. She said they also get teachers like that, not in Saudi Arabia where they are currently, but generally they have teachers that are teaching their kids and they pay them. So even teaching, think about it. So if you go on any of the freelance sites and say, I can teach, and you put the kind of jobs you can do, you'll be shocked that somebody would message you one day and say, okay, I want to employ you to help teach, or just remotely log in into a school and help us do something. These days we have those that are teaching languages, local languages from Nigeria, Igbo and all that. Virtual assistant, freelance writers, that's very common right now. Editors, accountants, financial consultants, social media specialists, app developers, content creator. You see that a lot of this have been mostly like creative people, creative space. But as we move on, of course, you see that more people, the more demand gets to a particular job, they'll begin to look outside as well, as long as it can be delivered remotely. So what do you need to succeed as a freelancer? First, you need to define your service offering. You need to define what you do so people will know what you do. If I can edit, if I'm good as an editor, let us know you are an editor. Put it right there. When you're applying or putting these things up on those websites, define what you do so that they can find you based on those keywords. I hope you know that when anybody is searching, they search with keywords. So if you don't define your keywords well, you'll be losing out. So if you say you're a copy editor, so anybody types copy editing, he finds you. Something leads them to you. And then maybe it takes them to your website, who knows? And then they check that out. And let me not forget, when you offer services to people, help them to drop a recommendation. It's good you do that. Hello? That's one part we don't usually do. If somebody does really good work for you, it goes that way. Or you do good work for them. Tell them to drop a recommendation. It's always good to say, oh, and working with TT has been excellent. Let them even see some of those things, okay? Then find your target audience, develop a pricing structure. It's not when somebody reaches you, they say, how much do you charge? You now begin to wonder, I didn't think about that. That was the first thing that happened when my son also asked me. So one guy said they wanted him to do something with them. I said, so how much should I charge? Even both of us, just they look at each other and say, Chineke, what are we going to charge? I said, no, don't respond yet. Don't respond. Let's go and think about it. And we weren't sure whether we're even underpricing ourselves or overpricing ourselves. You know, so you need to, if you really want to go into that space, define your pricing structure as well, okay? You can even take it high, and if somebody wants to negotiate with you, then it comes to at least something appropriate. Then create your portfolio with past jobs is good. Things you've done in the past, absolutely important. Create compelling marketing content and proposals also. And then be good at what you do, basically. Be good, just be good. Because one good deed will beget another good one. Someone that you've worked with will now naturally recommend it to somebody else. There's not even looking for a freelancer at freelancer.com. But someone says, oh, is that what? One guy worked for me. He's in Nigeria and he did well. So recommendations are there. The next slide, which is the last slide, I just put a screenshot of most of the popular freelancing websites. Let me say this. You know, I've never registered in a freelancing website. Anyway, I just get recommendations. But you know, lately, when I had to look at this, I'm like, maybe I should go and register one or two. You know why? Because you can also make some more money on freelancing. I hope you know that. So beyond my regular day job, imagine if I get like 5 different calls from freelancing. That just adds extra dough. You know, in Nigeria, we want to make more money because of the economy. So you could actually think of this. And there's nothing you cannot sell. I hope you know. It's how you package yourself. That's what it is. And I looked at LinkedIn in particular. LinkedIn, many professionals are on this site, but we don't make good use of it. So there's the job alerts you can create. There are job alerts on LinkedIn. And when you're creating the job alert, you also specify what kind of jobs you would like to do. So for example, you can say remote work is what you can create remote work as the kind of jobs you want to have. So if anybody is looking for anyone that's signed up to say they do remote work, your name will likely come out. They'll just generally check. And usually if there's any call about remote work, it will always come to you. You will see it on your page. They'll say, oh, check out remote jobs that people are looking for. Okay? So beyond the LinkedIn being your professional, putting your professional image online, you can also get remote jobs on LinkedIn. But please ensure that your profile speaks volumes about what you can do. Very important. So this is where I'm going to end this conversation right now. The end is probably the beginning for somebody, so I won't say we have ended it. The end is the beginning. Thank you. Makanda Sinabi, is that the name? Aki, come here. I hope you enjoyed my session, and I hope you took something away from it. Okay, so where's my principal? Augusta, I'm done with the job you have sent me. Thank you.
Thank you so much. So can we just have to share just a few questions and answers, and people from the crowd just to explain a little bit about the remote work and things like that. Thank you, ma'am. Yeah, just a few minutes. People want to ask you a question how they can get money in dollars. People want to earn in dollars. People want to earn in pounds. Please. People want to earn money in dollars.
It's very, very important. Thank you so very much. Put your hands together for her once again. And put your hands together for yourselves. I mean it. It's been a very long day and you guys are still seated. Thank you so very much. Thank you, Ma. This is an eye-opener for me personally. I do apologize. My name is Folashade. And the reason why I said it's an eye-opener for me personally was because I've been struggling with this. I've had the idea in my head, but I'm like, is it real? Just the way she said that her dad would say, go and look for a better job, Jerry. So I was thinking, is this a good job? Why am I even thinking about this? But now that I've heard this, I know it's possible. One thing lockdown did for a lot of us is to realize that you can work from anywhere in the world. I didn't know. We're in complete shutdown. But are you aware that some people made a lot of money that same year? Netflix had to move to Nigeria. It was an opportunity for them to dive into the Nigerian economy because a lot of people were at home and they needed to watch movies, even though everybody was on lockdown. Sincerely, sometimes I low-key wish there was lockdown again because that was when I had my best sales ever in business. I had to sit down and think, what do I need to do this period while everybody is on lockdown? So you don't even have to come to the office, waste energy, waste light, call people, pay them monthly, when you can do it remotely anywhere in the world. And the good thing is you are not restricted. Your clients are not just in your locality. You can be here in Nigeria and you have your clients in US, Canada, anywhere at all. So freelancing, if I were you, I'll start giving it a try. Sit down and think, what can I bring to the table? What can I offer as a service? And I'll get paid for from the comfort of your house. Thank you, ma. So we have few questions. Me, I'm a very practical person. I like to put all this English aside and say, okay, practically, realistically, a typical Nigerian person, how can this benefit me? How can freelancing benefit me? Number one that I will ask you, ma. One house, are we together? Yes, please. One question. The first question is, ma, the skill or the qualities, because it's okay for us to come and talk, and what do I need to get as a skill set? What are the qualities that I need to not just start as a freelancer, but also succeed in that field? Me, I'm very practical, like I said, though. Using Nigeria as a factor. What are the skills that I need to acquire to be able to do well? Thank you.
Well, there's a diversity of skills, actually. So it's not a one cap fit all. But one thing you need to do also, we talk about research, the place of research. What is it that is becoming popular in the world today? So there's a whole lot going on social media, for example. And people are looking at building followership, for example. Building followers, businesses. And then they see you as an influencer. Because somebody can actually build their profile as an influencer. Although they post that kind of rubbish and people are just following them. Before you know, they get 100,000 followers in 3 months by just causing commotion everywhere. And for that one alone, they are studying you. The person that needs you, the person that is an influencer is checking. He says, this guy has 1 million. And trust me, social media influencers are breaking loads of money right now. Because people need numbers. So they are contacting them. So this Yabo Joe, those girls are smiling to the bank, I'm telling you. Yes, they are building the house, they are putting it there. They are abusing one other actress, they are putting it there. All of us, we are reading. And as we are doing so, followership is increasing. Somebody is saying, did you know what Yabo posted today? Hey, where is her page? Pam, you don't they follow. Before you know, Yabo has 12 million followers. Before you know it, somebody abroad that is looking for numbers and is trying to do something in Nigeria. He said, we need influencers in Nigeria. He checks, it looks at the top 5. Before you know, they are contacting you. They're saying, you know what, we're offering this per number, per follower. So that's one. I know influencing is just that simple, because even me, I try to build my followership. It's not easy. It's very slow. It's not like Yabo's own. Of course, there's a lot of skills when it comes to, we talked about teaching as a career. Yes. So there are those that special education, and they might not be able to offer it in their children's school, but they're looking out to see who can train my child on this kind of thing. As I told you, somebody called me, and this one is even mentoring a 13-year-old. He said, my daughter is 13 going to 30. I said, now big girl be that. But somehow I'm being paid for it. There are Nigerian families abroad that want their children to speak their local languages. So they're looking out here to find the teachers. So it's there. So you need to also put your ear on the ground if possible. I know guys that did cybersecurity are even providing cybersecurity services from Nigeria abroad. Yes. There's some that maybe that's why they even studied abroad and they came to Nigeria, but they find you and they tell you, can you do this for us? And if you can, then it works. There's some, it's just communication, public speaking, in fact. So they're like, okay, we need speakers at an event and we can't fly our people down here. And they generally look out for those around there that are subject matter experts, and they contact you. Because you also put it on your freelance that, I could do this. They want event managers. So look at it that way. That some of these guys also want to do things in other countries. They're looking at cutting their costs. So some of those services, you might want to put that up too. Because some might just need it because you're on ground. So you end up becoming their local consultant, isn't it? So there's a whole lot, actually. There's a web design, someone to create portals, build really good portals. And they see that, there's a Nigerian guy that's done this very well. And we can cut costs by even working with him. They look for you. So do your research as well. See what works.
So if I get that, your visibility online, and then put your heads on the ground, take your time to find out what is that thing that somebody needs somewhere. Yes, thank you. Another question I would like to throw to you, Abisola. The question is this: how do you maintain or manage your time and work. This is, let's be realistic. We all have the same 24 hours. So you can imagine, let me use myself as an example. I'm a wife, I'm a mom, I'm a businesswoman, and I want to go into freelancing. How do I balance it? What do I need to do, realistically speaking, considering Nigeria that we have?
Okay, thank you very much for that. So it's a very crucial and important thing to learn, especially when it has to do with freelancing and remote work. You need to be able to effectively manage the work-life balance. If not, something is going to get missing. For example, like she said, she's a mother, she's a business owner, and she also has to do many things. She also has to look over the health of her family and the kids and even the husband. So, and work is very important also. So you need to be able to look around all those things. It's very important you prioritize. Okay, put things in order of priority. You need to know, okay, what comes first. So, for example, at some point, my husband one time said it's very important that we put our entire life in structures. So this is my personal life, this is my work life, what are the things that come under my work life? This is my church life or my mosque life, what comes under it? Okay, what assignment am I assigned to? What are the things I'm supposed to do? Put them in order of priority. Also for freelancing, it's very important for you to take jobs you can handle. Most times when you start freelancing, in the beginning, everybody wants to do everything. They're trying to create, they want to take every job. I want to build my followers, I want to increase my visibility and all that. Everybody is quite enthusiastic in the beginning. But it's very important that, okay, the little ones you take what you can handle. As much as you're still trying to grow and build your brand or whatever in quotes like that, it's very important that per time you deliver with excellence. It's a logo, deliver or a motto, sorry. Deliver with excellence, take what you can handle, prioritize, set boundaries with your clients. You need to tell them, what are the expectations? This is what I can deliver. This is what I will not be able to deliver. And if you want me to do that, you need to give me some more time. Because I won't take the time I'm supposed to spend with my family and take it to work. Because at some point, your kids may not even know who you are anymore. You just discover that, well, I don't see my mom sometimes. She's not around. She's always available. And they begin to talk to someone else that has their time. Or your husband you need to pay attention to it. Work is beginning to overwhelm you. And you yourself you might just get burned out. And when you're not there, someone else will get the job. So why don't you just try to prioritize things and manage them as they come? So that's just a little.
This is truly an eye-opener. I hope you are taking in all of this. My question to you, Ma, what role does personal branding, I'm laying emphasis on the word personal branding, what role does it play in the success of freelancer? You know, there's an image you want to project out there. People no go follow you go your house. They no go know you inside. There's a projection. There's a way you want people to perceive you. So what role does personal branding play in the success of freelancers, and what strategies can we, employ to enhance their, personal brand? I hope you got that.
Yeah, I think I got it. Let me see. So when we talk about personal brand, let me say that the brand, your brand is what people say about you. You might even say this is what I want them to see, but that may not be what they're seeing. So the brand is what they eventually say about you. And it happens because over time, that's what they've seen consistently. So they can define you that way. And that's just it. So it's all said, oh, she's very intelligent. Everything you do, this woman is an excellent person. It's because everywhere they've seen you or met with you or done something with you, excellence just comes out. They just know you don't drop any balls. That's just it. So at the end of the day, it becomes your brand. It's what people say about you that is your brand, really. But of course, you start out also with the mindset that this is what I want people to know about me. Yes, I want people to see me and say, oh, this person is someone that is excellent at what she does. This is someone, I want them to see me and say, oh, this person is truly African. I do a lot of wearing of African prints. Have you noticed? I do that a lot. So someone said, Atiti, I like your style. In my mind, somebody said that? I'm like, okay, I've built a style. Okay, African. But I was just doing my thing, I was just doing my thing. And last year I was on a GIZ project. They said everybody should write something about somebody. And that dressing was part of what people wrote about me. And I felt, okay, so it's making sense now. Although sometimes I'm tired of wearing Ankara, God knows. If I lately I looked in my wardrobe, I said, "Ah, nothing exciting anymore. Colors everywhere." But in my mind, I'm like, well, you've been doing this and people love you for that. So you see, even building a brand is not easy. The day I changed to suits, and I said, "Ah, this guy just fooled us." So it's what people say about you. I'll say it's consistency, basically. Just be consistent. Then people can define you. If you want them to know you as someone that lies, just be lying now. They say, don't give him the work. Ole paro. He will lie and dead person will wake up. So as a freelancer, please, the people will say the things they know about you because over the time they've seen you do this 10 years running from year 1 to year 2, year 3, and they see this man, he's consistent. That's your brand, I tell you. So think about it. What do I want to be known for? Just be a positive person. Do your things well. If it's your dressing, if it's the way you speak, create it. Just create it, you know. And I like to speak like this sometimes, but I can also speak my mother tongue, Ijesha language. I just wanted you to know that. Thank you.
All right, so the last question is, how do we transition from a part-time to a full-time? You know, there are a lot of you that are workers. You have your own 8 to 5 job, but you're already contemplating, I might just quit this job because on the long run, it's like this part-time job, freelancing is even paying more than the one that, you know, you do daily. So how do you help us? This question is for you. How do we transition seamlessly from part-time into full-time so that we don't want to just wake up one morning and say, I'm done with my job, I'm resigning, and you don't have a backup? Better Onga Pro Max, still doing press up, waiting. So, like I like to bring it back home, realistically speaking. How do we transition from that part-time into full-time? And, you know, we are not staggering or struggling.
Okay, well, thank you for that question. So I think one very important thing for a seamless transition is to actually know your financial readiness. You can't transition from full-time to part-time, like she said, without backup. You're going to be hungry. Your family will be hungry. Your children will be frustrated because you need to pay school fees. There are bills to pay. You have families. Even if you don't have anything to do with money, you have people to bless with money. There are people outside you should give. Yes. It's very important. So you need to actually know your financial readiness. How ready are you to transition from a full-time job to a freelancing kind of job or a part-time kind of job? Okay, it's very important. How ready are you? Also, what is your client base? How many clients do you have? You can't say you have one client, you want to depend on one client for that. You just wake up one morning and decide that I'm no longer doing full-time. I'm going to part-time straight. It doesn't work that way. Most people that you see that are freelancers, they have a lot of things working out for them. They started from somewhere. But in this generation, we're always looking for the fast way out, and everybody is doing it. Everybody just diverts. You're supposed to keep going straight, but by the time you say, everybody is going this way, what's happening? You just turn the vehicle without even thinking, where are they going to? Are we going the same direction? Are we actually, because the truth is, everybody might be doing the same business, but what makes you stand out? So you need to actually identify your own particular aspect of it or your niche and say, okay, this is where I'm going to. Now, no matter how many persons divert, you can learn from them, but that doesn't mean you should turn your own vehicle around. So you actually need to know your own financial readiness, know your client base, and also, are you mentally ready to actually transition? From a full-time job to for this particular one, it's not that you need to be mentally ready for it because you're used to a particular system. So you can't just automatically wake up one morning and say you're going, it's gradual. You can actually start in bits. And before you know it, you can now finally take that decision and say, okay, I'm ready to stand on my own. I have the client base, I have the financial readiness and everything to take it. And you would grow. The truth is you will actually excel in it, but you need to take time and take steps.
Thank you. Put your hands together for our panelists. Is there any question? Just one, if there is. I'm sure we've flogged out every. Okay, you have a question. Oh, two. Okay, let's just hope it's two, please. In 10 seconds.
Yeah. Good evening, everyone. I want to go straight to the point because I'm a Nigerian. You know, when it comes to bar, we they like the bar, make it a drop for your account. So my question is, when you start as a freelancer, are you going to use our regular Nigerian accounts, whatever, or are you going to create a domiciliary account? That's the question.
So the other person.
Greetings to everyone in the house. My name is Sunday. I'll put out my question this way. Can there be any access for mentorship for those that are interested in freelancing?
Okay, all right, so, yeah. Someone has a question. Oh, you don't have a question. You have a question. Oh, okay.
Sorry, you have to bear with my voice. The man in front mentioned something earlier. We have a long way to go. I think we need to change that notion. We don't have a long way to go. We have a very short place to go to, and we have a lot to do, not a short place to go to, very long place to go to. And I need you guys to differentiate between freelance and remote work, because I've had that experience. Before COVID, I used to be a consultant, ICP consultant. So I was a freelance consultant, and sometimes I work remotely. So I think people need to understand the difference so that we won't get things twisted. Yeah.
The questions quickly: local, domiciliary accounts, then the other one, room for mentorship, and then difference between freelance and them. I don't know who wants to take what, but okay.
Okay, so for the international payments, definitely won't come into your Naira account. If it's dollars, there has to be a dollar account, so you need to open it. It got to a stage when I was going to earn my pounds. In fact, I didn't have a pounds account, so I had to also register euros as well. In fact, I now have the three. Anyone you want to pay me, it's only yen I have not opened. Anyone you want to pay me, I have it. I have it. It's not a problem. And actually, those three accounts, I receive payments in euros, I receive in dollars. So when I registered the three, I just did all three at once. Wherever the money is coming from, I'm ready for you. So that's a good one. For mentorship, yes, it's freelancing too would require some mentorship, because we also talked about looking at what do you do well, what is it that you can put online. So you just freelance, let me just go and put something whatsoever, because whoever wants to employ you would even set up an interview for you. And there are some questions he's going to ask. So he's asking you, so how many, he tells you how many gigs. You are saying, oh, you can't remember the gigs you've done? Not exactly, I'm just trying to calculate. Then he says, okay, he asks another technical question. You're scratching your head. It's the end of the matter, because he'll say, if you've been doing this before, you should be able to answer me. So, yes, I don't mind mentoring. This man, I wanted to collect my number yesterday. I have a feeling this question you asked, you're trying to set me up. But it's all right. He's a student and he wants to gain a lot there. But I do mentoring. I have a youth mentoring program. But and this is a good thing. I even wrote it down that it might be something I'll consider to also help young people with. Okay? Yeah.
Thank you very much. I'll be taking that question as what's the differentiation between freelancing and also remote work? Most often than not, when you look at it, you think it's quite similar, because it's more like a thin line between freelancing and actually remote work. But at the same time, let me use the example he gave. He said he's a consultant, isn't it? And he can be able to consult for as many persons as he can at his own leisure time. Right? So that can be freelancing. For example, you have a nutritionist or a dietitian that has quite a number of clients around the world. He or she doesn't have to go to the hospital and be based as a clinical nutritionist or not. So you can have various clients and you can have your own place itself. So it's more or less like tilted somehow towards the entrepreneurial aspect of it. It has, I put a dash of entrepreneurship into it, because the consultation aspect of it, as many clients as you want, well, I'm not available for today, can you reschedule or you find someone else? Okay, and the remote work is just specific. You get to work. It may not necessarily be from home. It can be from anywhere you want to work. It can be an office, a personal office, or you decide tomorrow, oh, well, I go to the library, or I decide to stay in my room. Okay, remote is everywhere as long as it's not confined to a particular structure. You wake up for 8 a.m., you get to the office, you come back for, that is more like a structured setting. Okay, and that one is fixed. But this one, you have the freedom to be flexible. It's very flexible, it's diverse in nature. So that's the little thing.
Okay, sorry. We said some more time, but sir.
Let me just add to this. There's a lady called Hamal Hassan. I think you met her. She's in charge of Outsource Global. She's here in Nigeria, and she earned so much in terms of dollars. She works for a lot of companies, outsourcing so much of the accounting, so many things to her. And I just read about her today. She has 850 employees. 850 employees. And office is somewhere in, what's the name of that place? Mabuchi, a whole building. So freelancing and whatever you call it is a job of the future. Because with AI and freelancing, the sky, in fact, it's beyond the limit. It's going to be beyond the sky. Yes, just the beginning. Thank you.
So very much, sir. Thank you so much, my panelists. We've come to the end of this session. Well done, everybody. It's been a very long day. Put your hands together for yourselves.
Just to share this before we leave. And one of the things that I probably tell our people, Nigerians, is that the reputation building is very, very important because people watch what you do. People watch, but then most time, our Nigerians, we don't use the platform well, and we don't really get enough job, and it's really embarrassing. When you go on freelancer Upworks, because of the reputation we build over time, people don't want to trust us to give jobs to. And then, in whatever thing we do, we just need to learn to keep trying. And I'm just going to leave us with this quote. Every morning in Africa, a gazelle wakes up, it knows that it must outrun the fastest lion, or it will be killed. Every morning in Africa, a lion wakes up, it knows it must run faster than the slowest gazelle, or it will stop. It doesn't matter whether you are the lion or the gazelle. When the sun comes up, you will better be running. And that's the beautiful thing about life. Thank you all.
Quickly, I'll just do the vote of thanks. Titi ended our presentation to say the end is the beginning. So the end is actually the beginning of our going home now. But very importantly, I want to say thank you to everybody who actually stayed this long for this conference. I want to say thank you to our exhibitors, our sponsors, our elder statesmen, the professor, the media crew, and everybody that has traveled from wide and far and wide coming to this event. I believe this has been an enriching time for everybody. And it's going to contribute to the growth and the flourish of our country, Nigeria, and Africa at large. I want to say a special thank you to my friend and my brother, Shinwade Langwa, Dayo. Both of them actually traveled all the way from the UK to attend this event. People that traveled from other places, thank you very much, Dr. Awowinde from Bowen University, the media crew, and my team. They are all scattered around. Tezo is here, Ukoma, Buki, Faith, what have I not mentioned, Shalom, and all people that actually have contributed one way or the other to the success of this event. Thank you very much, and we'll reach everybody with the communique of the event as soon as it's ready. It's going to be shared in our email boxes, and of course we'll continue the engagement via the Nigerian Cleantech Group, and also other medias will send regular emails, and we'll, like I said earlier, we're going to share polls so we can get feedbacks, because that will be our own special takeout from the event to know that things are happening, collaborations are happening, and if anybody needs contact of any of the speakers, any of the organizations that actually spoken to be able to get some things done, do not hesitate to get in touch with us. Thank you and God bless, and I wish everybody a safe journey to their destination as we end this summit. Thank you very much. Bye. See you next year. Bye.